Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Duel at Dawn, a very close range map. Probably one of the smallest we have in this game. We got on the northeast and part of the south part on the eastern side. We got some nice ribs, close quarter kind of areas, and of course in the west, northwest, there's this big open area with a fallen ship in the middle. Guagadu, would you take red again for me?
Alright, so on the red team we have the Flying Flounder, piloted by Captain Scrowbeard. This is a Mobula with a Hades on top, 2 Artemises on the bottom, and two Banshees on the top. We also have the Luna Moth, piloted by Merwin. This is another Hades Mobula. This one has a Gat and a Banshee on the bottom and 2 Artemises on top.
And for the blue team, we got the Fancy Guardian. It is a Mobula, piloted by Dementio. Oh, this is one crazy Mobula. A mine launcher on the top, an Artemis and a Gatling on bottom deck, and an Artemis and a flare gun on middle deck. His ally is the Gizmo Dog, piloted by Spudnik, I believe. Yes, Spudnik. It is a galleon with a... what is this? A lumberjack, a Hawatch and a Gatling on left side, and a carronade and a Gatling on right, a carronade and a Hawatch on right side, with a flare in the back. As action is already commencing, seems that red team is staying in that spawn, trying to play it slightly safer. The Luna Moth is now currently being focused by 2 enemies, but they might be able to do a dual focus on the Gizmo Duck. Nevertheless, a galleon does make it... You're typing again. Never mind. A galleon does make it very hard to take it down in time. Oh shit, I still got my overlay. I'm horribly sorry. Here we go. I'm horribly sorry for that. It won't happen again. Luckily, we haven't missed a kill yet, although the Lunar Moth is in a very delicate situation here. Oh, well, there he goes. First kill goes to the Elegant Elephants on blue side. I'm interested in this Fancy Guardian. He has a strange loadout, honestly. I mean, the mine launcher on the top. I don't usually see one of those going about.
Luna Moth has spawned in now, almost directly below the Fancy Guardian.
If they react now and fast, they might be able to save the Flying Flounder before the Fancy Guardian takes him out. It is going out on the Fancy Guardian. Flying Flounder is hull broken. He is trying to get out of there though. Fancy Guardian getting hull broken. Half his hull. 2/3 is his hull. He's trying to go under the Flying Flounder. Manages to get out of the arcs of it. But he's still in the arcs of the Luna Moth. His hull is not looking the most healthy. This is effectively a Mobula, a 2 versus 1 Mobula fight. We see the first mine going out. Oh, this is looking tough for the Fancy Guardian. He's exactly where he doesn't want to be, but luckily his ally is coming in just... oh, not in time, but he might still be able to monopolize on this. Gavin's going to be taking out the Flying Flounder if he does his job right, although he's currently in not a great situation. He's inside of arming time of the Luna Moth, of the Hades, which is nice. Nice Hawatch coming out of the Flying Flounder, picking up 3 guns and an engine, but Gizmo Duck is now hull broken. That bump did cost him a bit of his balloon. Hull broken again. Most of his engines are on fire too. Half his hull is down. He's stuck between a wall and a hard place at the moment, and another Mobula. So I believe they might just be calling that a worthy sacrifice of giving that to the team. I don't believe the Fancy Guardian is going to be coming in to do another 1v2. That was well played by the East Chaladonian Trading Company. They managed to get with that spawn of the the Luna Moth. They managed to get the 1v2 rolling against the Fancy Guardian, and managed to finish him off just before the Gizmo Duck came inside range with their Hawacha and Carnate. The Gizmo Duck would have been a slight bit earlier. That would have been it for the East Chaladonian Trading Company. So now they're fighting in the open, which I believe is probably better for East Chaladonian Trading Company. They're better off fighting in the open with their ship builds than in the tight corners or ribs where they were fighting just before. They do have to look out though. The Gizmo Duck does have a lumberjack. Get a hold break on the Fancy Guardian. But not too much damage coming up to follow up. The Luna Moth is under heavy lumberjack firing, which lost the galleon. Oh, there he is. It's being lumberjacked quite a lot. This is the problem. If the Mobula stay in a fight long enough, the galleon will prevail with their lumberjack, simply out of height difference and the Gatling being able to shoot down that arc. What am I saying? The Fancy Guardian's Gatling being able to shoot down with. Guagadu, you should share in here, please say something. Report.
There's an armor drop on the Flounder and the kill almost immediately for the Fancy Guardian. Score is now tied at 2-2. Gizmo Duck has been armor broken as well, and now the Luna Moth has joining in on the party. A balloon drop as well, and there's the kill for the Fancy Guardian.
Yeah, at that point
the health just melted away.
Yeah, but at that point the Luna Duck could not have gotten out of there anymore. Maybe backed up here, but in this little hole in the ribs. But it would have not been really possible to get out of there with that little balloon and the galleon keeping up that pressure. So, like I said before, it's probably best if those Mobulas focused on probably the Fancy Guardian as fast as they possibly can. Ooh, a very bold spawn right here. The Fancy Guardian right behind them. Both of them seeming to turn for the. Nope. They're just maneuvering. I thought they were gonna take this chance and fight the Fancy Guardian. Seems that Fancy Guardian isn't even spotted at this point. They don't even know he's behind them. Oh, this could end very badly for East Chaladonian Trading Company. Luna Moth doing whatever he can to get out of there, but no, there's just. They reacted way too late against that Fancy Guardian just being behind him. It's Dementio, right? Yeah, he knew the spawn and which way they were facing. He just chilled there right behind him. That's that's pretty scary. Here we go. It seems to be a halfway fair 1v1 between the Fancy Guardian and the Flying Flounder. With a couple of interventions of a lumberjack from the Gizmo Duck. Here we go. The Gizmo Duck is joining into the fight. The Flying Flounder lost his balloon, doesn't have a hull, lost about half his health, is still dropping, trying to get keep the Fancy Guardian in arc. But that might be it right here. On the other hand, the Luna Moth is trying to fight their way out of there. There we go. I was hoping I could get another view of the Luna Moth and the Gizmo Duck fighting, but yes, well, the Fancy Guardian did kind of finish up the Flying Flounder slightly too fast. Nevertheless, a good showing by East Chaladon Trading Company. One of our